For this presentation, I chose to discuss the Deepwater Horizon. The Deepwater Horizon was an oil drilling rig owned and operated by offshore drilling company Transocean and leased by company British Petroleum. The Deepwater Horizon was drilling in the Macondo well located in the Gulf of Mexico in April 2010 when an explosion on the drilling platform of the Deepwater Horizon caused the rig to sink, killing 11 workers and injuring numerous others. The oil spill caused serious environmental damages to the Gulf of Mexico and major monetary damages to our economy. The Gulf is home to a large diversity of marine life. According to the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, the spill impacted wildlife and habitat fishing communities and commerce along the large coastal areas of Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Alabama, and Florida. Ingestion of the oil can, of course, be fatal. Communities along the coastal region rely heavily on the Gulf for survival. During the investigation of the spill, approximately 80,000 square miles of fishing grounds were closed. The Gulf has an abundance of shrimp and shellfish, which are caught and used for both commercial and personal use. Livelihood for millions were compromised by the spill. The Downs Law Group is a firm that handled and processed claims related to the spill. According to the Downs Law Group, people who had their lives and jobs impacted by the 2010 spill are entitled to compensation for the damages they have endured. A settlement was reached between the U.S. federal government, British Petroleum, and other companies associated with the spill. The Deepwater Horizon oil spill was established a BP compensation fund for the people entitled to recover monetary damages. I did some research and found an internal investigation report released by British Petroleum. The report covers findings related to the spill and the causes of the incident. There are recommendations in the report intended to help prevent accidents like the Deepwater Horizon explosion from occurring again in the future. I read the investigation report, and a summary of it is that the accident involved a well integrity failure, followed by a loss of hydrostatic control in the well, and this was followed by a failure to control the well with the blowout preventer. These oil drills are highly sophisticated mechanical devices. So basically, what all that means is that all the emergency fail-safe functions failed. Gases continued to be released from the well for 36 hours after the initial explosion, fueling the fire. The oil spill is viewed by many as possibly the worst oil spill in U.S. history. I looked into the worst oil spills in world history, did some math, and the last 10 major oil spills had a combined 1,115 million gallons of oil spilled into our oceans. The exact amount of the spill released by the Deepwater Horizon is uncertain. That was in court. They debated the amounts that were actually released, but it seems to be in the area of 134 million gallons. After the explosion, there were many oil companies that band together to create safety measures and preventative measures, such as subsea robots that are used to cap the spills before they get out of control. It's my opinion that these safety measures were more self-motivated by these companies. I don't think oil refineries can be shut down, overnight because our economy is way too dependent on oil. But I think that the major oil companies would rather put in place their own safety measures and controls rather than be government implemented. But that happened anyways. There are bunches of articles in the New York Times, even very recently, that discuss a lot of the stipulations that were put in place as a result of the spill. One of these articles that I read says that even right now President Trump is working on lifting some of these safety measures so offshore drilling can expand. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm not completely against oil drilling. I put gas in my car to commute every day. I'm sure a lot of us do. The only thing that ever comes to my mind when I'm at the gas pump is the cost per gallon. And even right now with Hurricane Harvey, we're all kind of noticed the gas prices increased recently as the some of the oil refineries down south were closed in preparation for Hurricane Harvey. Um, if oil drilling expands, possibly prices will go down. On the other hand, oil drilling can give birth to way huger problems that are a lot bigger than the price per gallon that we pay for gas. Um, you know, Oil drilling and spills have major environmental impacts. It goes unnoticed by most, but who knows how much the environment can take before we cause some real irreversible damage. Thank you.